Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I know I've been gone for so long and I apologize. I just have a lot of stuff going on. I have a lot of stuff going on this semester and I'm not able to record as I originally planned to, but I'm here now and I'm back with another video, so let's get right into it. Alright, so today's video is it's gonna get a little personal, but not really. It's just I'm gonna be talking about a friend that wrote me this letter in December. And so starting to talk about this friend, her name is Diara. I love you, Diara, if you're watching this, and I miss you so much. So me and Diara met last year of my freshman year, and that was her senior year. So she was graduating whilst I was coming in. She was about to graduate whilst I was coming in. So last year we met, and she was giving me rides to the college ministry that I was attending at the time, Overflow, and also to church. And so throughout those rides, we ended up becoming friends. Our relationship grew and we ended up becoming really good friends. And now she's all the way in a different state, like 23 hours away, but it's okay. But I love her though, and I miss her. She's just doing the will of God, and who are we to stand in the will of God? Will and way of God. So baby, no. But I'm so glad that she's in law school. She's doing her stuff. But let's get back into why I'm doing this. But so we met last year and she was giving me rides to church and Overflow, and then we got the opportunity, both of us got the opportunity, and other people too got the opportunity to do our first mission trip together. And I was so nervous and so crazy because I've never done anything like that, sharing the gospel with people. Like, what? No. So I've never done anything like that, but God was faithful throughout the whole entire trip, and the encounter and everything else was just unimaginable. I cannot even explain. Like, God really moved during that trip, and I'm so thankful to God for it. So she wrote me a letter. Let me find a little envelope. Okay, so I was just a little excited that it has my name on it, and look, this little design down here, I really love it. It's like blue. Blue is my favorite color, if you don't know by now. But and then the seal on it was especially for you. I don't know why I'm telling y'all this, but it doesn't really matter. But I just love this envelope. Okay, so I'm gonna get into reading this letter for y'all, and then I'll talk to y'all a little bit about the purpose behind this letter and why I'm sharing this. So yeah, okay, so let's go. Here it says, Dear Freda, when I started giving you rides to and from Overflow and church, I had no idea that this quiet girl would become one of my closest friends. Since then, I have witnessed you become vibrant and full of life as you dove into the community around you. I love how encouraging and motivating you are with your friends, encouraging us to follow our passions in God's will. I love your heart for the Lord and your willingness to battle with obeying His will. My favorite memory of you is how you were there for me when I was a hot mess during Beach Reach. Beach Reach was the mission trip that we took, was the name of the mission trip that we went on. It was in Panama City, Florida. Yeah. Back then, I couldn't explain why I was suddenly so despondent. Now I suspect that God was urging me to obey what He'd already asked of me. But I also think He used my volatile emotions to encourage us to share our testimonies with one another. Thank you for sharing your testimony with me. I know how difficult it can be to share your testimony. Thanks for holding me and being there for me while I cried. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful for the love you showed me that week and that you continue to show me. A lot of people may have shied away from my tears, but you embraced them. I think my spontaneous breakdown and the sharing of testimonies that followed serves as an encouragement that it's okay to let people in. When we share the parts of ourselves we hide from the world, and sometimes even ourselves, with trusted confidence, our relationships deepen and flourish like never before. Then those friends can walk beside us as we seek God. I know that you struggled with following God's commands at times. Everyone does. Going to Vermont was one of the hardest things I've ever done, partly because I've made so many amazing friends like you. But since I've been there, my relationship with Him has only grown. So trust me when I say that the best thing you can do is to follow God, even when it seems crazy or like you're not the right person for the job. I recently learned that faith isn't so much about how much of it we have or our perception of the one. I recently learned that faith isn't so much about how much of it we have, but our perception of the one we put our faith in. Faith is God is faithful. Trust He will equip and enable you to do whatever He asks of you. I am so glad that I got to know you last year, Freda. Know that I miss you a lot, and I can't wait to see what God does through you. Lots of love, Diara. I love you so much. Oh my God. I love you so much, Diara, for this letter, because it just shows your willingness and obedience to follow the instructions of God, even if it requires leaving the people and the things that you know, leaving the family that you know here, the family and friends that you know here, and to go into a completely new state with different with different people, with different things, and still able to adjust and trust that God has you there for a purpose, and what He's doing through your life is just a living testimony. You are literally a living testimony following the will of God. Who can literally sit here and God will tell them, like for me, I know I would battle with that a little bit, and I know you did a little bit, but you still obeyed the will, and you still obeyed the will of God, and you were still obedient. But for me, if God was to tell me, hey Freda, I really need you to go to Vermont and go to law school there, like I would be like, what? God, like, are you serious? But we're called to different areas, and we're called to do ministry in different aspect, in different areas in different locations. We're not just supposed to keep and stay where we're at and keep harboring the gifts that are within us, but we're supposed to use those gifts and share with the world. And so something that I wanted to leave y'all with is to encourage and motivate those around you. Like, it's very important to let God use you, and to let God be the reason, to let God use you to motivate and encourage people around you, because you don't necessarily know what anyone is going through. So it's very important to encourage and motivate the people that are around you. Secondly, share your testimony, because you never know how much it can help others, or it can help someone. Like, sharing your testimony, sometimes we're the only Bible people get to read, and so sharing that testimony and sharing what God has done through your life and how He's continued to be faithful no matter what, it's just so encouraging to some people. And people hear other people's testimony and they come to know Christ. So be willing to be vulnerable at times in sharing your testimony, because you don't know like there is power within every testimony. So let God use your testimony to impact the people around you. Thirdly, get and surround yourself with godly community. Godly community is very important, because who you surround yourself with is who you begin to act. Like their characters, become like you kind of pick up on their characters, and you become like them, and you act the way they do. And so it's very important to be around godly community, those that you can be vulnerable with, but those that you can also lift up. It's a two-way relationship. You need people that can multiply and add to you. You don't need people that can divide and subtract from you. So get godly community that can build you up, and you can build them up. It's two-way relationship. And lastly, trust in God and deepen your relationship with Him. Like wherever you are at, whatever you're doing, continue to trust in God. Trust in the Maker of the heavens and the earth. He is, oh my gosh, He's everything that we need. And so when you put your faith in Him and you deepen your relationship with Him by praying, seeking His face, getting in His Word, knowing more about your Father, your relationship, it goes to a different level that only you will know how much growth you have experienced. And so something that God was laying on my heart to speak on was Matthew 22 verse 37, and it says, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. For this was the first and greatest commandment, and the second was the second commandment that we were given is love your neighbor as yourself. And so in my Bible, what I wrote next to it was love God, love yourself, love others, and it was like an arrow to each of them. And so you can only love others at the level at which you love yourself, and you can only love yourself if you know who your Father is. If you can see that reflection of His love within you, then you're able to reflect that to others. And so I just want to thank you all for that's all I have, and I want to thank you all for making it through this video. I love you all, and y'all have a great day. Bye.